And so, just as we are waiting for the race winners and champions to be crowned after the GT Sprint #1, and waiting for another high-profile part of the program, which is going to be the Eastern European TCR Race #1, we've got one of the Boss GP displays right on the track right now. Quite a lot of cars. Various machines, some of them Formula 1 even, some of them actually GP2 or even World Series by Renault cars in F1 cars liveries, just like this one. This is actually the Dallara GP2/11, the car that was used in the GP2 championship from 2011 to 2017, but it's actually in the livery of Ferrari Formula 1. There is a seemingly Williams F1 car on the track as well, but that's again one of the other GP2 cars. That's the previous model that was used in years 2008, 9 and 10, and it's actually carrying the BMW Williams livery that we saw in Formula 1 from 2001 all the way to 2005. So it's an iconic livery. Another one here, the blue and yellow colors, that's the Renault F1 team's livery with which the team raced between 2002 and 2006 actually, before the ING title sponsorship came in and the colors turned way more orange. But that blue and blue and yellow livery, it's iconic now these days, because it was Fernando Alonso who took that victory in 2005 and 6 to 2 titles against first Kimi Raikkonen in the McLaren and then Michael Schumacher in his Ferrari in 2006. Then, of course, Fernando Alonso left Brno and joined McLaren for the 2007 campaign. We've also got the first ever Toro Rosso car on the track, Ingo Gerstl behind the wheel, and he's a usual entrant in the Boss GP rounds. It's the STR1 Toro Rosso from 2006. It was back then when a new era started in Formula 1, and Formula 1 went away from the 3-litre V10 engines and went to 2.4-litre V8s, but Toro Rosso was not really managing to bring and package the V8 engine into their car just yet, so they used a little turned down V10 for on an exception in that first car. That's this one. It's basically RB1 Red Bull from 2005, because back then it was still possible to actually sell year-old cars from Red Bull Racing to Toro Rosso. So this is the GP2/11 car in the Ferrari Formula 1 livery. We've also got the GP208 car in the BMW Williams livery, but this is a true special. This is a fully bred Formula 1 car. That's the Wolf WR7 from 1971. Back then it was driven by James Hunt, Keke Rosberg, Emerson Fittipaldi. Emerson Fittipaldi, by the way, a big fan of the Czech Republic himself, and his grandson Enzo Fittipaldi actually racing in Formula 2 these days. This is one of the World Series by Renault cars, the Formula Renault 3.5s, in that sort of Renault Sport typical livery, which always featured yellow and black. And we've got other interesting machines in the paddock. I mean, for example, in Most, a couple of weeks back, we had the 2010 Sauber that was back then driven by Pedro de la Rosa and Kamui Kobayashi. And we should also have the 2001 Arrows Formula 1 car, which was raced back then by a Brazilian driver Enrique Benoldi, but more notably by a guy called Jos Verstappen, dad of the current dominator of Formula 1, Max Verstappen, of course. This is the WR7, the 1979 Wolf machine, designed by Harvey Postlethwaite. It did 23 races, never score a point. Oh, sorry, never scored a pole, never scored a race victory, but still Wolf. One of the notable teams from back then. And with that, of course, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful soundtrack is being brought to the Masaryk racing circuit. So we will let you enjoy that for a little more, and then we will be back with the first race of the Eastern European TCR.